So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of the wives vis-a-vis the rights of men. The very first responsibility of the wife towards her husband is the wife has to look after the comfort of her husband, give him due respect, and always have regard for his feelings. Appreciate your husband. Number 2, the wife has to safeguard the honor of her husband. Number 3, she has to be the guardian of the property of her husband. Number 4, she has to manage the household and rear and bring up the children properly. This includes that she must not badmouth her husband in front of their children. Number 5, the wife has to treat the relatives of her husband as if they were her own relatives, with kindness, respect, and love. When she respects her in-laws, in reality, she is showing respect to her husband. Number 6, she should adorn and beautify herself for her husband and not for non-mahram men. This is one of the complaints that many times men have, that when they come from work, when they come back from work, that their wife, she is not in a presentable state. Now, same goes for the men's side, that it is equally our responsibility to maintain our physical appearance for our spouse. Point number 7, the wife should bear in mind the tastes or the likes of her husband, whatever he likes and whatever he dislikes, in the matter of food and dressing. She should be, point number 8, she should be ever mindful of her husband's health. Point number 9, she should give her most sincere advice when her husband consults her about any of his problems. Number 10, the wife should not make unfair and unreasonable demands. Number 11, she has to remain loyal to her husband under all conditions and be a source of strength to him in adverse circumstances and stick fast to him through thick and thin. Number 12, she should watch that the dignity and reputation of her husband are not damaged by any of her actions. Number 13, under all conditions, her behavior should be conducive to peace and tranquility in the house. Number 14, she should take care of her husband's physical needs in compliance with the Sharia of Allah the Almighty. Number 15, she should not let people of questionable character nor individuals that are disliked by her husband in the house. Number 16, she should not disclose the personal and private matters of her house in front of others. Sharing the flaws of her husband is a big no. Number 17, if the husband is the only son or only child and his elderly parents are dependent on him, then the wife should not demand to live separately. Number 18, if the wife has any debt from before the marriage, then it is her own responsibility to pay it off unless the husband willingly takes care of it. Number 19, if the wife has a job or a business, then she should make sure that her responsibilities towards her husband, their children, and her house are not affected and take priority. Point number 20, in case of a marital dispute, the wife should try to resolve the issue with her husband, and if the matter is not resolved, then she should involve an unbiased family member from her side as her arbiter. Point number 21. The wife should cover herself modestly whenever in the presence of non-mahram men. This, however, does not mean that she should be restricted to the four walls of her home. Number 22. The wife should never cause any sort of harm to her husband or to their children. Number 23. The wife should try to be the best friend of her husband. Number 24, the wife should not keep secrets from her husband, as it would create distrust between them. And point number 5, do not argue with your husband in front of others, especially your children. Point number 26, the man cannot be forced into a marriage. The man has the right to talaq, which is divorce initiated by man. Point number 28, in case of separation, the husband should forget about his ex and move on as if she is dead to him. This is what Hazrat Aqdas Masih Maud ﷺ has mentioned, that this is what Islam teaches. Unfortunately, many a times it happens that two individuals decide to call it quits, and several years later they're still going at it against one another. And this is not Islamic behavior. And at times such individuals encourage others to sit and listen to them, that look, this is what I have to share. And any opportunity they may get, they would try to use this opportunity to speak about an individual who is irrelevant to them. Point number 29, the man has the right to remarry. Number 30, and last but not least, the woman should not torture her ex-husband on the account of their children. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Muhammadur Rasulullah.